And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
Well, like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
expression.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis is ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful and thriving Thursday. You know what? Here it is. It's Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday. Oh, the week is almost over. The work week. Let's just say that. The work week is almost over. So y'all, you just gotta crawl a few more inches. Just a few more inches, because it's a game of inches. Okay, guys? I was trying to do my Al Pacino Any Given Sunday. That didn't work out. But anyway, you know, he has his win this one for the Gipper speech. If you haven't seen Any Given Sunday, y'all need to go watch that. That's a damn good movie. Go check that out. You know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, today is going to be it's going to be a much shorter show today for various reasons, a plethora of reasons. One of them, which I'll say here in a little bit, but because, you know, yesterday was such a action-packed day with news and information and just you know, talking, and there was a lot of talking I did yesterday. Holy cow! Today is going to be a little bit shorter, and I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys are going to be cool with it, because this afternoon I have Tom Yankello on the show, which I'm very excited about. He is the coach trainer for Roy Jones Jr. He was literally in the ring. He was working corner. He was in Roy Jones Jr.'s corner throughout the infamous Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. fight that we all watched, which was one of the highest grossing pay-per-view events in a very long time. And so I have him on. I'm going to be interviewing him live. We will be taking phone calls, by the way. So all you boxing fans out there that love that ish and have some questions on, like, what the hell happened? Like, but why? Why did that happen? Whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? The sky is the limit. You know what I'm saying? Or if you're super positive, there is no sky. You go past the stratosphere. You go as far out to another universe. Just don't make the questions feel like they're spinning off the planet. You feel me? Okay? So he will be on live this afternoon. I know this is a very random one, but it's a very special time. And I wanted to make sure that it was live, because I wanted you guys to hear it, be able to call in, be able to chat, put in questions in the chat that I can ask live on the show. So I want to say that again. This afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be having a live conversation with Roy Jones Jr.'s coach, Tom Yankello. I mean, he has trained some of the best. He is a freaking living legend himself. All right. So he was in the corner working and coaching Roy Jones Jr. during the Mike Tyson Roy Jones Jr. fight this past weekend. And we are going to have him here live in a few hours. So I'm very excited about it, and you guys have got to see it. It will be live. We will be taking phone calls, and I'll be reading some of your comments and questions in the comments section too. If you don't feel brave enough to get on the phone and drop your voice in the show. Okay? So that's why the show is going to be short this morning, because I got that show, and then you're getting me for a third time this evening at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, which we'll be talking and just shooting the proverbial ish and doing what we always do. Okay? So I'm giving you guys as much as I can. I'm giving it to you. I'm you know what I mean? I'm tearing out my heart. You know what I'm saying? And placing it on a beautiful platter just for you guys. Okay? So, and because I love you guys. Hence the heart. Duh. Anyway, I'm not, I am a savage, but I'm not that savage. You know what I'm saying? I do that because I love y'all. Okay? This ain't a masochistic thing. What did you say?
Those puppies are making you soft, man.
Shut your mouth. You shut your freaking mouth. Shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. Those are angels.
Beautiful little angels.
They're beautiful, man. Dear God. Oh my God. And we could talk about that too. Well, we didn't get much sleep last night because the puppies, the puppies, because I got 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them now. So I got 6 dogs in my crib right now. They were not I think Juliet is running out of milk. So we had to go and get milk. And then, of course, my girl, who is just playing full court press on these puppies. I mean, she won't let these puppies alone. But God bless her. Seriously, God bless her. She has been just basically just living right next to them. You know what I mean? Keeping an eye on them, making sure that they're eating, making sure, because they have to eat every 2 hours. Every 2 hours. Imagine a human baby. You know what I mean? Imagine a baby, a human baby. These are puppies, and they have to eat every 2 hours. I know that that's the same thing for babies too. Something like that, right? I don't have babies, so I don't know. Is that true?
I have no idea.
He has no idea either, because he ain't got babies too. He just got a dog in the back. You know what I'm saying? Napoleon. He can't hear you. He doesn't even recognize. He doesn't know my voice. He don't give a damn. He don't care. He's like, you got a treat for me or nah, bruh? If you don't, then you ain't ish to me. All right, but she's been playing full court press on these dogs, rightfully so, because they're all beautiful, beautiful babies, beautiful puppies, and so it's been a long night, a lot of interrupted sleep throughout the night. So it's been a wonderful thing. It's been exciting. I'm really excited because they're really beautiful dogs. But I digress, David, how are you doing? How's Napoleon?
We're both doing good. He's just sleeping, as he always does for the morning show. But,
Does he really think we're that boring?
He's usually not awake at this point. He just watches me work or sits on my lap while I work. So this is his normal behavior at this time.
Right on, man. Right on. It's a cute dog. That's all I got to say. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Now that, it's funny when you're a dog owner, you start to look out and you see other dogs. You know what I'm saying? You go, oh, that's a cute dog. Before, when I wasn't, I've said this before, when I didn't own a dog, I could care less. It's like, oh, cool dog. Cool, a dog. But now I have this understanding for dogs. It's weird. It's really, really weird. It's really weird.
So when you have a baby, you're going to do the same thing with little human babies.
Really?
That's what it sounds like happens.
I have a feeling it's going to be like that for sure. Yeah. It's like you don't have them, so you don't really understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of like, oh, that's a cute baby. You know what I'm saying? But then when you actually have one of your own, I'm sure it's like, you just melt 17 times over. You know what I'm saying? You melt a little bit when you see a beautiful baby. You know what I'm saying? Because it's life. But then it's like you've been there, done that. So it automatically takes you back to that emotional place, If that makes any sense. So yesterday morning was really interesting too. Seeing them be born was really interesting. You know what I'm saying? It was just a really interesting thing to see. And she gave birth to them like a pro. It was just like bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was expecting like hooting and hollering and, you know what I'm saying? Like I expected like humans, like when a woman gives birth, it's just, you know,
Yeah.
you did this to me, you know, that kind of stuff. But she wasn't looking at Romeo like that. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's always harder for humans because we stand up straight.
Right. Right. We can actually verbalize how we're feeling, right?
Yeah.
Man. Oh, Debbie, you missed out because I already brought them out yesterday live on the show. I mean, they were only not even 3 hours old. Seriously. And I got to show off one of them because I didn't want to mess with too many babies kind of thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was cool. Beautiful dogs, beautiful puppies. Tammy, maybe before we get done with the show this morning, I'll show it to you guys. I'll show you one more puppy, you know. Today is a very short show. And I'm going to say this now because I see a lot more people starting to come in. And I do have, well, you know what? Actually, I could show you guys right now. Hold on. I could do this because I cut out a piece of the show from yesterday where you can see the puppy. And I actually don't have to get my ass up. Like I could actually do the lazy part. Excuse me, let me do this real quick. That'll make things so much easier, man. So much easier. So, there was a reason why I brought up, like there was a message I was trying to say, or I was saying throughout this thing. And I was also saying how much it sucks right now. You know, 2020, it's really hard to find happiness. It's really hard to find, like right now, the holiday spirit. I feel like a lot of people are having hard times finding the holiday spirit right now. And so this was a piece that I cut out and I was planning on putting up later on today in between all the chaos of today's show, of all the shows that I'm doing today. And because I'm doing 3 shows, this one, and I got 2 more throughout the rest of the day. And so, yeah, I was just kind of talking about finding happiness, finding that holiday spirit, you know, finding all that. So this is a quick 2-minute clip of me just talking about this. So this is me from yesterday. Let's do a little time warp.
Oh my gosh.
4 little puppies.
Pascal.
There's the other thing that I wanted to say to you guys, because this is something joyous. This is something dope. And if you guys were listening or watching the show last night, you already know about my little baby, Juliet. She is preggers. She, at about 5:41 this morning, gave birth to 4.
Oh my gosh.
4 little puppies. This one's, oh, he's so cute. Look at that. See that?
Like the size of a hamster.
Yeah, see? She gave birth, man. She gave birth. You better give us some likes for these puppies, bringing life into the world. So there's reasons to be happy. There's reasons to feel the holiday spirit. You know? Doesn't this look like a little rat?
See, that's why she was grumpy. You were picking her up last night. She was about to pop. Squeeze them out.
But yes, so it was a very early morning for me. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, that's corny as hell. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't shoot. When it's cute, it's cute. You can't fight the cuteness. You feel me? You could be the manliest man in the world. You know what I mean? All jacked up, all roided up. You're still going to be like, oh, that's a cute puppy. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the hate in your heart. It's still going to melt the coldest hearts in the world. You know what I'm saying? So there are reasons to be happy because life, as Jeff Goldblum has said, will find a way. And happiness most definitely will find a way. You can find happiness in the smallest things in the world, in the littlest things. And I found happiness in life today. So there you go. You know, a little time warp, a little hop back into from yesterday. And you know, yeah, I know it's corny. It's corny. The damn puppies. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's true. You know, there's a lot of reasons to be happy. There's a lot of reasons to be joyous. I feel like we turn on the TV and we see so much negativity all the time. You know, we see all this crap that's going on as far as 2020. You know what I'm saying? 2020 is literally the Grinch. You know what I'm saying? And as much as I just want people to remember that there's things out there to be happy for. You know, that there's things out there to be joyous for, things to embrace. As much as people think, oh, there's nothing but dark clouds above me, above all of us, there's still that silver lining. You know, there's still a little bit of, you know, through those cracks, there's still a little bit of hope, a little bit of light that's shining through. And it's like, you know, just keep going towards that. Because even myself, it has been really, really hard. You know, this year has been hard. It's been hard for me to try to find the holiday spirit. You know what I'm saying? Lately, as of late. And I feel like a lot of us feel that way. I mean, even so, like yesterday, and this is part of the news anyway, so I'm going to throw this in. Rockefeller Center did their Christmas tree lighting. But if you watched the Christmas tree lighting, it was a ghost town. Ain't nobody there. Everybody was chilling in their cribs. Why? Because of 2020. Forget the Rona. Forget it. Forget the election frauds. It's 2020. It's just the year it's been. And it's been bad for everybody. So I encourage you. I urge you to get out there and try to find the things that make you happy. The positive things that make you happy. Because, you know, there's people that will sit there and lean on their substances and all that. And I'm not sitting here saying to do that and make yourself emotionally numb. I'm saying find the things that truly make you happy. That's what's really important this year. We need to cling on to the things and the people that truly make us happy. So yesterday when I saw that the miracle of life in front of me, and I know it's just puppies, but I held on to that, and I'm still holding on to that because that's what I need to get through the rest of this year. You know, there's only a few more weeks, and then this year's freaking over. Hallelujah. Well, hopefully 2021 is much more generous than 2020. Only time will tell, right? But I urge every single one of all of us to really lean on the things that make us happy. Because that's what's going to get us through the next few weeks. That's what's going to get us through 2021 or a good portion of 2021. And hopefully we can all find the holiday spirit again during this really crazy and trying times. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. I said it yesterday on yesterday's show, but I don't think I said it well enough. So I wanted to, you know what I mean? I wanted to send it on home. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling what I'm saying, and if you're having a good morning, the fact that you're up, the fact it's another day above the ground, another day upon the soil instead of underneath the soil, hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot. We got to jump into some news here, though. Some of it is some interesting stuff, and some of it is just, of course, we got to do our COVID watch. We always got to. There's always some new developing story in regards to COVID. There's something that's going on in Namibia, which is very weird, very, very weird. And then, yes, there's some interesting things, just kind of like what we were just talking about, the miracle of life and how amazing it is. So we're going to be talking about a couple of things, a slew of different things. Yeah, so let's just jump into it. Let's get into the news, y'all. Oh, sorry. One last thing. One more time, because like I said, I know a lot of y'all coming in right now. Today's show is going to be very short. Why? Because at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm sitting down and interviewing Tom Yankello. He is the coach for Roy Jones Jr. He was in the corner with Roy Jones Jr. during the Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. So for those of y'all who just stepped in and love boxing and are just even curious about what was going on in his corner, what he thought about the fight, and who he really thought won, you're going to have to tune in at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for that dope live interview. We will be accepting phone calls on this particular show. So you most definitely tune in for that. And of course, we're going to talk about what happened behind the scenes, what happened before the fight, after the fight, if he got to chop it up with Tyson or not, if he thought Tyson was hella high or not, you know what I mean? All those things, James, because James just asked that. So tune in, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's the reason why this morning's show is going to be hella short. So let's jump into this, all right, guys? Now, one of the things that is this is a weird story. Because, well, there is a man by the name of Adolf Hitler Unona that was elected. Hold on, sorry. These damn pop-ups, man. I swear to God. So a politician by the name of Adolf Hitler has won a seat in a Namibian election, but he says he has no plans for world domination. That is real. He was elected with 85% of the vote in the former German Connolly. Wow. Wow. I can't even say colony. There you go. My Lord. In the former German colony, and which is still home to a small German-speaking community, and where a number of streets, places, and people still bear German names. After winning the seat on the ticket of ruling the SWAPO party, which has ruled Namibia since independence from apartheid South Africa in 1990, the politician told Bild that he had nothing to do with Nazi ideology. So, real quick before we continue with this story, because I find this is interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? This is a very interesting story. You got to see what this man looks like. You just got to see what this man looks like. So we're going to pull it up so that we can all see it with our own two peepers. Real talk. Internets. Come on, guys. All right. It's all these pop-ups, man. I swear to God. I mean, I love this website because they are very up to date on a lot of things. But dear God. Okay. I want y'all to see this fella. Shoot. Hold on, guys. Gotta love live. Okay. That's what this fella looks like. Not him. Over here. Right here. Very interesting, right? And I'm sorry. I don't mean, I'm not trying to throw any shade on anything, right? Like, if his name is Adolf Hitler Unona, hey, by all means, congratulations on getting elected. But at the same time, this photo, like, couldn't you smile? Like, if you got a name like Adolf Hitler, I feel like you are literally obligated. It is your obligation to be smiling at every single photo opportunity you got. Doesn't matter if you are the most savage human being on the face of this planet that has ever been born into this world. Yeah, you're getting named after that particular person. The thing you need to do more than anything is you need to be a happy mother lover. Please be the funniest guy in the room. That's what I say. But when you see a photo like this and you go, this is Adolf Hitler Unona, and he's going, hey, I have no plans for world domination. I'm sorry. I see a photo like this right next to the man, the tyrant, the piece of trash to the right. And I go, I don't know, like your name is Adolf Hitler. Unona, I know. But still, your first two names, Adolf, Hitler, you should be smiling in every damn photo you take. And you better be a freaking comedian. You better be Kevin Hart of Namibia. Seriously, you better be the funniest mother lover in the room with a name like that. I'm sorry. Like, that is just like, what's the word? That's a foreshadowing. That's a heavy foreshadowing of what could come, right? So the last thing you want to do is look intimidating and have your name be Adolf Hitler. Just saying. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't ever want to, like, me personally, like, if there was a guy named O.J. Simpson and he wanted to start his own line of knives, like of cutlery, I'd be like, bruh, no. Maybe pillows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to start thinking outside the box. If you've been donned the particular name that is infamous and notorious for a specific thing, you should be as much of the antithesis of that name that you have been given. You know what I'm saying? What do you think, David?
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying here. He's got a very grumpy look to him in the photo. I don't think being put right next to Adolf Hitler helps, though. But I don't think he'll conquer the world, probably. He's already been a regional council for a little bit, and his party has been in control of their parliament for about 20 years. And so the thing is, Germany did have tons of colonies, specifically in Western Africa and Western South America, and you still have communities like that in places like Namibia and Venezuela and Argentina. And so most of these colonies were lost during World War I or World War II, but they still have that culture. And it seems like even in Namibia, they have been sending people, to Germany for training on specific industrial technologies to help modernize certain parts of their commerce. Even though at some point earlier this year, Namibia rejected Germany's offer for compensation for the mass murder of tens of thousands of indigenous people there about a century ago in 1904. And so they refused that money, and they still send people to Germany for training. Of course, Germany is very different than it was in World War II. I'm not saying it's at all the same. But it seems like they've had a close relationship with Germany for a while anyhow. And it's not unusual for old German colonies, even though the government isn't the same as it was when they were colonized. And but I guess Germany has said that they take moral and they were willing to take financial responsibility for the actions that they did in the past, and Namibia rejected it, saying it wasn't necessary. And so, like, the thing is, with like a name like Adolf Hitler, I
Right.
wouldn't have expected it in Africa, but I did watch this. It was a kind of a documentary because Adolf was an incredibly common name. It was one of the most common names before Hitler, and so like there's still people naming their children Adolf Hitler because that name has been in their family for centuries, and there's not many of them, and obviously they get a hell of a time in Germany. So I haven't read about them in South Africa. But it's still a thing people do for their children because of tradition. I'm not sure why Unona's parents would name him Adolf Hitler, but I guess maybe because of their current good relations with Germany. I don't know. It still seems strange.
You know, it's funny because Alex Jones just asked something. That's a very good question too. It's like, was the name given to him? Was the name given to him at birth, or not? Because Alex Jones said, I can't see his parents giving him a name like that, but if it goes back to what you just said a second ago, which is Adolf is a very popular name to begin with, is one thing. But why would you name your child Adolf Hitler Unona?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's the difference. Like, all the
weird.
Adolf Hitlers in the documentary were born with the name Hitler because that's what their family's name had been for centuries. That's not his last name, though. So they chose that for his middle name, which is strange, very strange.
It's weird.
But I'm not I don't know the answer to Alex Jones' questions, but that would be a good answer on whether or not he was born with that name. As far as I can tell, there's nothing about a name change, so I kind of assume he was born with that name, but I couldn't find evidence one way or the other.
Yeah, because I'm looking at I'm looking at the rest of this article because obviously I only read like 5% of it, but excuse me. I mean, he was named this. I mean, this is his legal name. It's not like he just rolled out of bed one day and said, Adolf Hitler sounds pretty dope. I'm just gonna call myself Adolf Hitler. Nah, he was born this. And he says here, my father named me after this man. Probably didn't understand what Adolf Hitler stood for. He also says, as a child, I saw it as a totally normal name. Only as a teenager did I understand that this man wanted to conquer the entire world. Now, he's not sitting there going, oh, yeah, mass genocide, killed millions and millions of Jews. You know what I'm saying? A tyrant, the worst kind of human being on the face of this planet. He's not saying that. He's not saying that. So I wonder how much information he actually does have. But if you're in politics, wouldn't you know this, bruh? Wouldn't you know this by now? At some point as a teenager? I mean, let me just repeat what he just said. He said, as a child, I saw it as a totally normal name. Only as a teenager did I understand that this man wanted to conquer the entire world. Hold on. Let me scroll down a little bit just to make sure if there's more quotes. Nope, that's it. So that doesn't make any sense to me, too. The fact that he's saying, oh, only as a child did I understand that this is what he was wanting to do, like to conquer the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My only thought, and this is a stretch even then, is that
that's crazy.
Namibia came free from Germany after World War I, and they were under control of South Africa through, I think, either the Dutch or the British. So maybe they don't have a tradition of knowing what Hitler did in the world because he wasn't active in Namibia or South Africa, really.
True.
So I don't know. It's a bit of a stretch, honestly, but that could have been something, at least with his father, maybe. Because, his father is probably much older. I'm not sure, probably 80 or something. Just a guess. So maybe he was a little more ignorant in that time in I don't know, whenever he named him, 70s or so, 60s.
Yeah, I feel it's weird that he's not sitting here saying, oh, I realize now that after doing the research, because I am in politics, and this was a politician, let's be real, not only was he a dictator, a tyrant, and he was a piece of trash, I'm talking about the original Adolf Hitler. he was also a politician. So if you're in politics and you're learning about the way of the world, I feel like this is a staple piece of history that we are all taught. Also, let me just add this on top of here. We live in a world where this information superhighway is at our fingertips. So you can't tell me. I understand it's Namibia, all right? I don't know what kind of technology that they have and stuff, but I've seen, it's not like they don't have access to internet or information or history books. You know, that old thing that folds like this? You know what I'm saying? Books. They're in books. So you can't tell me that his response, I'm sorry, his response, and this could be just be torn out of context. He could have said a whole lot more after that, by the way. I'm just to be the nice guy here. But at the same time, he's not sitting here saying, oh, I didn't realize he had done all this terrible, monstrous things. There's nothing like that in here. He's just saying, oh, it was only when I was a teenager that I understood he wanted to conquer the world. Okay, let's not forget the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You think they would know about that?
You know what I'm saying? Just seems a little weird, bruh. Just a little weird. Just sprinkle a little weirdness in there. Just seems a little weird. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know about Namibia and that, like their laws and whether you can change your name or, that kind of thing. Not sitting here saying that he has to do all of that. But at the same time, I feel like even as a grown-ass man, he still doesn't know the history behind that name and the violence and the terror that comes with that name. Because I feel like if he did, his reaction would be his quote here would be completely different. Completely. But I digress. Comment down below. Let us know what you think about that one. That is some crazy stuff. Adolf Hitler Ununa, by the way, has been elected in Namibia. But moving on, we got another story in Africa. You know what I mean? We got another one in Africa. This is interesting too. In Egypt, a model is arrested for doing a photo shoot in front of pyramids. David, come on. Speak on it.
So, this model, Egyptian model, Selma Hashimi, was arrested on Monday over a photo session in Saqqara, which is an archaeological site outside of Giza. And she's a 26-year-old model. She's a dress model. And she was wearing an ancient Egyptian-style clothing. I don't know if you have the image up.
I need to pull that up, actually.
And so she's the government. The Secretary General of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Mustafa Waziri, said that anyone who shows negligence when it comes to antiquities or our unique Egyptian civilization will be punished. And 2 of the ministry's employees and 4 security personnel who work at the location in Giza also referred to prosecutors for an actual investigation and possible charges over it. And Sabri Farag, the director of the Saqqara antiquity sites, has said that they have denied reports of additional people being arrested, that it's just El-Shimi at this point. And El-Shimi's photographer, Hossam Mohammed, had told local newspapers that they had an agreement with the staff. But that doesn't... If they had an agreement with the staff, it doesn't seem like the staff checked with the people that can actually authorize it. And so basically she showed up at the Pyramid of Djoser for around 15 minutes. And then once they found out, they arrested her, and they temporarily arrested her photographer. And right now they're still in the process of filing all the lawsuits and everything. And the prosecutor filed accusing El-Shimi of distorting the civilization and insulting the great pharaonic history. And part of Egypt's parliament called for her to face the severest punishment. So the government is very, very angry about it. Even if she did get approval at the lower level, no one at the higher level seems to be okay with it in the slightest. And they have a bail of, I think, 500, I think it's lira, which is about $32.
Wow.
I might have their currency wrong. I'm not entirely sure on that. But either way, they said that they ended up paying more for the fines so far than the actual shoot itself would have that the shoot itself cost them. And just 2 weeks ago, Saqqara was in the news for a discovery of 100 sealed coffins containing mummified bodies, which a lot of them were completely still sealed, which is really unusual in Egypt because tomb robbing has been common for at least 2,000 to 3,000 years. So it's a long tradition. But every now and then you find a bunch of sealed mummies like this. So Saqqara in Giza, near Giza, is one of the places of the most intense archaeological research in Egypt right now, specifically by Egyptians for their own Egyptian history.
You know, I don't understand why she's getting. I don't understand why she's getting in so much trouble. That's what I think. It doesn't make any sense for her to be in so much trouble for doing something if she got the authorization from somewhere else. Where's the wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how is she getting that? Like they're trying to, it's like they're trying to throw the book at her for just taking a very beautiful photo, by the way. It's a beautiful photo. I mean, obviously I didn't see any other photos on there. And if there's more, I would love to see them. I would love to see more, but it's not like she's defacing the pyramids. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like she's doing anything. There's no vandalism or anything of that sort. It's not like she's doing something disrespectful. She's fully clothed. She's not, I mean, unless there's implied nudes or something else there, I don't know. From just that photo alone, it seems like it was a fairly standard photo shoot of just a model standing in front of some pyramids. So what did she do that would make them want to throw the book at her, you know, at the full extent of the law for just standing and taking some very pretty photos? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, David.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Egypt's, like someone in chat said it, but Egypt has been very strict since the Arab Spring. Noble Nesti said that. And their government has been much more authoritarian, you could say, or specifically in terms of imprisonments. They've been a lot stricter on people. But her photographer, I think he was a freelancer, not her permanent photographer, because he said he wouldn't have taken the job if he realized it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But he was the one that was paid $65. I'll just use American currency. He was paid about $65, and he said that he thinks if it was a different model, like if she was a skinnier, more traditionally Western style. He doesn't say Western style, but that is what he's describing, more like a Western style model. He doesn't think she would have had any problems. And
really, because she's a full-figured woman.
Yeah, basically.
That's ridiculous.
And that's his theory, and he might very much be right, especially since, like you said, I don't think they would have made a big deal about this. From what I can tell, there was no debris left behind. She wasn't actually moving on any of the archaeological sites, and she wasn't interfering with the digs. Yeah. So she was, even if she wasn't allowed to be there, and she was just standing in front of it and got a picture taken.
It's ridiculous. She's a beautiful woman in taking some photo. Here it is. Mr. T just sent me sent the group in the chat the link to her Instagram. So I want to pull this up real quick so that we can take a look at it for ourselves, because there are other photos in this thing. And I just think it's I don't see the problem. I really don't see the problem. It's funny because what you just said a second ago, it's like if she was like, I'm trying to think of like one of the top models right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know any models' names, but imagine if she was some big name. Would she get in trouble for this? You know, would she be getting thrown under the bus for doing something that she, I feel like, did no wrong? I'm sorry, guys. This thing is still up. There we go. It's uploading finally.
Alex said something that I have an answer for. Yeah, he says that he thinks they're trying to, or she might be trying to portray the Queen of Sheba. She went under, for the shoot, she referred to herself as Queen Malbon Titi, and Malbon is just a sweet Turkish treat. So she was naming herself after candy, basically. But, you know, it mimics the name of Nefertiti. But I don't think that, I'm not sure that had anything to do with it. Since she was using an entirely made-up candy-based name. So, you know, it's like a model's name. It's not really a historical name. Though I guess it could have made people angry. I don't know for sure how they view that.
Yeah. Okay. So unfortunately, I can't log in here, but we can see the photos from like here. So we're just going to take a look real quick. I really don't see. I mean, even if she did refer to herself as a candy, still doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I think that these photos are just fine. I feel like the photos themselves. Forget her naming who she's naming herself as. They seem like they're tasteful photos to me. You know what I'm saying? A beautiful woman taking some photos in, you know, by the pyramids. Oh, there's more down here too. You know, it's like there's this one here too. You know, I don't see a problem with her doing what she needs to do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, and her costume is fairly, I mean, it's not accurate, but it's close enough that it's not something that you would be offended over.
I mean, yeah, it's a modernized version of, you know, I mean, it's just honestly, it's a cocktail dress with some added stuff. You know what I mean? Some added things to give it off that Egyptian vibe. But I mean, I don't see anything wrong with her taking those photos. I feel like I've seen worse in you know, shot in front of pyramids. I feel like I've seen worse. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've seen much worse, but I don't have anything to base it on. You know, I just feel like I've seen photos like Victoria's Secret models taking photos like that, except they're scantily clad. You know what I'm saying? They're not in a cocktail dress. They're in lingerie. You know what I mean? Butt cheeks out and everything. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see, I really don't see the problem with her photos. And I feel like they shouldn't be throwing her under the bus for taking some photos. And, you know, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? It doesn't mean like, you know, just because if they don't think that she's pretty or something like that, or that she doesn't fit their standards of beauty, does not mean that they should be throwing the book at her like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like she was doing anything pornographic. It wasn't like she was doing anything disrespectful. She took some photos and she named herself after a candy. I don't see the big deal. Like I said, I've seen worse. I've seen much worse. For sure. But moving on, this is something that's very cool. There has been a 27-year-old embryo that, there was a baby that was born from a 27-year-old embryo. And I got a little bit of this video that I want to play because I honestly think this is pretty damn cool. And I you know, no matter where you guys stand on, you know, science and whatnot, I think this is a very interesting story, and I feel like this could be something that could be really huge for the future of child rearing, or, you know, just being able to have babies. I think this could be something really, really big. So I want you guys to see this video right quick.
For Tina and Ben Gibson, their newborn Molly is a miracle.
I guess if you had asked me 5 years ago if I would have two beautiful girls that I actually gave birth to, I would have told you were crazy.
In In October, Molly set the record for the longest frozen embryo to come to birth. Frozen 27 years. More amazing, the record was set previously by her big sister Emma, born in 2017 from a 24-year-old embryo from the same donor.
Even freezing techniques that weren't as good as they are today can be very, very successful.
After fertility struggles, the Gibsons sought help from the National Embryo Donation Center, a Knoxville faith-based clinic that stores frozen embryos in vitro parents have opted not to use.
Do you suspect this number is just going to keep going up and up?
Yes, I do. The record will be broken.
As 1 in 8 couples struggle to get pregnant, the Gibsons have a message.
There's options out there and that this too shall pass.
The Gibsons say their family was a long time in the making, but well worth the wait.
You know, I think this is really cool. This is science kicking serious ass. There was one thing though. There was a shot of the baby that I thought was kind of funny. Because I mean, it's still, the miracle of life is really beautiful, and the fact that this is a 27-year-old embryo. So this baby is already 27 years old. Like, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, she already an old lady. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm sorry. I don't want to throw shade on the baby. Really. It's a beautiful baby, but I mean, just, she already got the bonnet on, like, she's part of the Golden Girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, she already old, She already talking about her 401k. You know what I'm saying? She's already thinking about her retirement plans, whether or not she's going to have babies or not. You know what I'm saying? She already thinking about it. She already knows how to drive. You feel me? You know what I mean? She already old. She already old enough to drink. She can vote. Maybe that's where one of the fake votes, came from. You know what I'm saying? Because she already old enough to do everything. But on a serious tip though, I think this is a huge breakthrough in science, especially with families that are trying to, that are looking to have babies, that are wanting to have babies. I think this is huge. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that might feel some type of way about this procedure or this approach, that there are embryos that are, say a woman ends up donating their eggs, but they automatically think, oh, they're not going to use my eggs forever. They're only going to use them after a certain amount of time. They won't be any good. But it looks like that's not the case anymore. That's the same thing I wonder about, like, sperm banks as well. Like these guys, when they do their business, are these dudes at like 87 years old gonna get a knock on the door? You know what I'm saying? And it's like a 18-year-old kid. Hi, Dad. Hi, you're my dad. What? I did that when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could very well happen. You know what I'm saying? That could very well happen.
Also using someone else's eggs, so technically it would have a mother and a father.
Exactly.
That aren't the parents.
Like, you are actually my donor. Like, you are actually, your egg is me now. And it's like, wow, I did that when I was, 20-something years old, when I was strapped for cash, man. And you're 90. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, yeah, yeah, Mom. I came from your body. I'm one of your eggs. Thank you. That's crazy. I mean, it's a breakthrough in science for sure. I mean, the fact that is the fact that the daughter too, the sister, was a 24-year-old egg. Then I keep wondering, did they get them on clearance or something? No, seriously, like, think about it. What makes somebody go and say, yeah, let me go for the 24-year-old egg? You know what I'm saying?
Question.
You know what I'm saying? Debbie just said, Murray Povich comes knocking, bruh, you are the father. And he's like, he just has a heart attack because he's like 90 years old. But I wonder, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the parents, the mom, right? The mother that gave birth to these children, these two beautiful children. she goes, because I saw this other piece where she said that when she was already impregnated and everything, they told her that it was a 27-year-old embryo. And that's when she had the reaction of like, what? For real? She didn't know. I don't know if that's entirely true. In my personal opinion, I feel like she would have already known before they inseminated her, right? Before that they injected her with this embryo, right?
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, they have to, after they thaw it out, because, you know, cryogenics, especially when you're dealing with humans, isn't really a proven thing. Like, we know we can freeze people, but bringing them back is the other question, because after a while, it starts to create ice crystals within the DNA, possibly, or within the egg to cause damage to it.
Ooh.
But from what I understand, they pretty much go through and verify that all the nucleotides are intact. And the nucleotides are basically the data in your DNA that binds the two helixes. And so, I mean, I don't know that they can check every single one of those, because I don't remember the exact number, but it's over hundreds of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess they do verify it. I mean, they themselves say they often have problems. Like 75% of all donated embryos survive the thawing. So, you know, this isn't just old ones. You know, 25% of all of the embryos fail during the thawing, and about 30% of the remaining implants are successful. So 25% fail thawing, and then 75% of them fail the implant. And it seems like, and I'm not positive on this, it seems like if the implant of the embryo goes through and the baby is formed, that the genetics are mostly intact. And at least so far, they haven't seen any discrepancies. There is, you know, some people in the chat mentioned it could have genetic effects, which is definitely possible.
Yeah.
I mean, they checked it. I don't know how well they checked it. It's not really an area I'm like super knowledgeable in.
Mm-hmm.
But so, you know, it could cause degradation. That is the main worry with cryogenics in the first place. Is cells aren't made to be necessarily frozen and thawed out like that. Especially when they start thawing, the crystallized structures of the ice can damage the cell structure as it thaws out. So,
so then
interesting.
There must have been like a very there must have been a very delicate procedure to thaw. It's so weird to say this stuff, but to thaw out that embryo, especially being an embryo that is 27 years old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Wouldn't there be a little freezer burn on that egg? You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't there be a little bit of, you know what I mean? You maybe got to flick off some of that frost. You know what I'm saying? Before you do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? You never know. This child could be like Mr. Freeze. You never know. This could be Iceman, you know, shooting out ice crystals out of their hands and stuff. You know what I mean? You never know. You know, you
we still
never
haven't
know.
successfully brought back a human from cryogenetic freeze either. Cryogenic freeze. I don't know why I keep saying that, but
no, it's all good. I mean, here it is. You know for a fact, and even Debbie just said, and she's right there with me. You know for a fact that Walt Disney's just sitting there in the sidelines. You know what I mean? He's frozen somewhere. I'm kidding. I mean, you know, there's that whole conspiracy theory that he's been cryogenically frozen, and he's just chilling, waiting. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting story. And I think it's a wonderful thing. I mean, it's a breakthrough in science. It's going to be huge. I'm sure people are going to be watching to see what happens with these two children, because there was another one that was a 24-year-old egg. And this one now, and she was the oldest embryo. And now her sister is 27 years old, a 27-year-old egg. And I'm wondering if there's going to be, I mean, I don't know. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe accelerated aging, maybe? I don't know. I know that sounds nuts, but obviously we're going to have to see. I mean, the other baby, the other child, the daughter, seems to be fine. Just growing to be a regular kid, you know? I don't know. It's just so fascinating to me that is a real thing. And it's an incredible thing, you know, because there's a lot of people out here that want to have kids. And the fact that you can do that, the fact that you can have embryos that are 27 some odd years old, I think is a huge breakthrough for a lot of hopefuls that want to have a family but aren't able to do so. So, with all jokes aside, putting all jokes aside, seriously, this is a huge moment in science. It's a huge breakthrough. And I applaud. I applaud science. I applaud science. You know what I mean? Yeah, science. You know what I mean? Breaking Bad quote. But anyway. No, but that's huge. That's huge news. That is huge news. And then, of course, we got to jump into this next story about, real quick, we got to go into this next story. It's about science as well. It has to do with the vaccines. I know. We talk about it every single damn day, but we got to talk about it, okay? Fauci is apparently not cool with the UK already saying yes to the vaccine. We got to talk about it. Dave's got that story. David, what the guam, bruh?
All right, so it was just yesterday or the day before the UK announced that they are giving emergency approval to the Pfizer vaccine.
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact numbers right now, but they bought hundreds of thousands of treatments. I think 800,000 doses total, if I remember right.
No, isn't it? Well, I thought it was 80,000. I thought we made that clear yesterday. 80,000
Right, yeah,
doses are
yeah.
on the way over. 80,000.
Right.
So,
You're
yeah,
right.
go ahead.
And so, yeah, they approved that. And Fauci, who, is our FDA and CDC guy, said that he thinks they went too fast. And he said that he doesn't think that UK regulators scrutinized the Pfizer trial data as carefully as the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And he said that such rapid approvals could both be dangerous and could ruin trust in public trust in the efficacy of the vaccines, which makes sense if there's something bad happens. But so in his view, they did not do it as carefully as they did a couple of days ago when they were initially going through it, and they were kind of superficial in their views of the new data and quickly went through everything. And he said that we, as the U.S., have a gold standard of regulatory approach within the FDA, and the way the FDA is, and the way our FDA is doing it is the correct way. He goes on to say, we really scrutinize the data very carefully to guarantee the American public that this is a safe and efficacious vaccine. I think if we did any less, we would add to the already existing hesitancy on the part of many people to take the vaccine because they're concerned about safety or they're concerned that we went too quickly. And yeah, I mean, that was a concern of my own for the UK. I was joking a little bit when I said it, but it's very true that I'm glad that the UK is doing this early test instead of us, because someone's got to be the first, and it's not
True.
us. So that gives us the information. It's not. I don't think it's in the best interest of the UK people or their government to do it this quickly, but they're the ones that decided, I guess.
I couldn't agree more. There is a part of me that, of course, is there is a part of me that's a little concerned about it. I'm not going to lie. I don't think it's something that needs to be warp sped up, I guess, or put into warp speed, especially in the UK. I understand somebody's got to start, but the fact, I'm just going to point this out, okay? Let me just point this out really quick. Just a few weeks ago, Fauci said, man, I'll be first in line to put it in my arm because I'm ready for whatever, right? Because these are my brothers and sisters of Pfizer that are so incredibly talented, I would risk my own life to be the first in line to do this thing, right? Now, suddenly, you got the UK going, yes, let's do it. Let's go. We'll take the vaccines. And suddenly he's like, oh, man, I don't know why the UK did it so quickly, man. That doesn't make sense to me. Remember, he was endorsing the hell out of Pfizer. The hell out of it. And going, I'll be the first in line. Now that the UK says, hey, we will take the vaccine, send 80,000, ASAP Rocky, and now He's sitting here going, oh, no, I'm not cool with it? Doesn't make sense to me. I'm not, here it is. I listen to Fauci. I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to sit here and be like a Fauci denier or something like that. But I just find that very strange to me. Just very strange to me. What are you going to say, David?
Yeah, my one thought is, I mean, he might have information we don't. Something could have changed, obviously. But my one thought is that it's kind of a political ploy. I mean, they've had the kind of compliance programs to try and convince people to take the vaccine of their own free will. And I think this might be part of it, since this is the first phase of testing in the public after phase 3 of the lab testing. And so if something does come back negative from their early release, that gives Fauci and the CDC a chance to divorce themselves from it, because they're continuing to do 2 to 3 weeks of data research. Even if they don't do a different vaccine, they can say they looked at it more carefully. And it also, if there is, I don't think it's the huge chance that we're going to see massive negative effects worldwide from the vaccine. But if something like that, that chance does happen, it saves us. So I can see that that's the more benevolent idea, that the CDC and FDA is using this as a chance to make sure we're safe with the vaccine.
True.
That's the more benevolent view of it.
Yeah, and I mean most definitely the benevolent view of it all. But I would rather it be something that we do not experiment or use a country as guinea pigs. You know what I'm saying? I understand that somebody's got to do it, but my brothers and sisters across the pond shouldn't be the guinea pigs. You know what I'm saying? God forbid the side effects. You know what I'm saying? God forbid any of those things that could come out and be what it is. I mean, I understand, like, even so, in some statements, they're saying that they're saying that this is not a walk in the park in regards to the side effects. So imagine giving 40,000 people potentially the most painful side effects in the world, while we on the other side of the pond are just staring at England and going, oh man, okay, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't be doing this one. Moderna, what you got? You know what I'm saying? So I understand something's got to give. Somebody's got to do it. But I'd rather it be something where instead of like rushing to get this stuff out and just injecting anything into people's bodies, why not continue the test trials? I understand that we all don't want to be locked up anymore. I understand that we don't want to quarantine. If I could go a month without even hearing the quah, you know what I'm saying? If I don't have to hear quarantine or lockdown or mandates or vaccine or Rona or any of the words that have been the top trending words of 2020, I'd have a very holly jolly Christmas. But at the same time, though, I'd go another few more months if it means that they're able to properly test everything out and administer those vaccines where no one is sitting there going, bruh, these side effects are not are no walk in the park. Who wants to put that in their arm? Who wants to put that in their arm? Who's crazy enough to do that? I'm sorry, not me. And I guarantee you a whole bunch of other people aren't willing to do that same ish. So instead of speeding everything up and just doing things so quickly, just to be the first to do it, get the stuff right. Get it right. Test it out. I know about animal cruelty, but at the same time, sometimes you got to use a lab rat. Use a lab rat. Figure out what's working. Figure out what the side effects are before you start injecting this into innocent people all across this globe. Come on, y'all. Now you got Fauci sitting here saying this ish. Come on, guys. He just said 2 seconds. Like I said, I'm sorry. 2 seconds ago, he just said this. 2 seconds ago. He said, man, I would stand up. I'll be first in line. Now he's going, whoa, UK, hold up. No. Hold up. You shouldn't have approved it so quickly. The hell is that? The hell is that? On Fauci's case, it's kind of like you either ish or get off the pot with this whole vaccine thing. That's my personal opinion. Because I worry for my people all across the country. No one should be a guinea pig, period. No one. David.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should wait more, basically. I'm glad we're waiting more. And I think really, and everyone should do that. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised China forced people to take the vaccine when they haven't even finished phase 3. But I'm kind of surprised that England or Britain, the UK, is doing this so quickly after phase 3 without time to fully look over the data as well as make their own plan. I forget what their CDC is called. They have an equivalent. And, they have their own plan for distribution and how it should spread. But they don't have enough information to make a good plan, in my opinion. I think that's what Fauci is pointing to. They don't have, because there's additional data that they have to go through with their own populations. They have to break down the data from Pfizer, which is 30,000, but it's based on a global population, which isn't consistent with the UK population. So there's a lot of things that are different that need to be considered. And doing this so quickly after the phase 3, after they get the initial feedback on who has such negative effects, I do think they should spend more time looking at it. I know a lot of people in the UK do not want to take the vaccine, but they've also had a lot of the same things we have, with anti-maskers and riots. So they have a lot of the same things where there's tons of small groups that are getting lumped into these much larger groups, kind of like, even I point to like Antifa activities a lot of times, but a lot of times news will report on Antifa activities that aren't even people. They're just a bunch of random people. And that you get the same thing in the UK when it comes to vaccines and masks being associated with different groups that they're not necessarily part of. So it's really hard to tell, but it seems like there's a huge pushback by the UK population against this vaccine, especially doing it so early.
Yeah. I understand that there is a desperation out there. There's a need to get the world back up and running again, the economy, all that stuff. Like Alex Jones just said, thank you so much for the comment, my brother. He said, Pascal, don't forget these people, for these people, time is money. So they can't afford to lose out. And I understand that piece. I totally do. And I'm always going to sound like a broken record when it comes to this vaccine and all that. And I'm not going to sit here and say that there won't be a vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, and I'm not somebody sitting here saying that there won't be a vaccine that will work. I do believe that there will be there is vaccines out there. I'm sure that there is a vaccine right now. The Pfizer vaccine, I'm sure it's working. But when you say the side effects are that bad, when they say it's not a walk in the park, it's no walk in the park, that makes you that gives me great pause. It vexes me. That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? So many other people out here are willing to jump in line and do it. That's fine. But when you have Fauci, who has been totally down for Pfizer's concoction of a vaccine, is now sitting here saying, y'all shouldn't have been so fast on that. Real talk. And maybe he's saying that because maybe he wants to slow down that demand for the manufacturing of the vaccine is so great that maybe he's trying to slow down the production of things, maybe. Or he truly feels like, hey, we're not fully done yet testing this thing out. Or he knows something that we don't know about the vaccine and how bad it really is with the side effects.
We could. I mean, I don't know how the UK does it, but we do kind of redo the testing that Pfizer did to verify it on our own. I would assume the UK has a very similar system because most of our systems are similar that way.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Well, I mean, only time can tell. Only time will tell. I mean, we're going to have to sit back and wait, see what people from, what the English will do. If the people will be taking the vaccine and what happens with it. And, of course, we have that website. What was that website again? The VAERS.com that, of course, we can all keep an eye on. And I'm going to do that, too. As soon as it starts getting administered, I'm going to be watching the hell out of that because, for a fact, I ain't about to stick a needle in my arm if that means if the side effects are that detrimental, And I keep saying, if Fauci's saying something, he's trying to tell us something right now. He's trying to say something. God's trying to tell you something. Fauci's trying to say something, y'all. We need to start listening. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with him or not, he got his finger on the pulse. His ear is to the pipes. He knows what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to putting together this vaccine. So he's saying something, and he's saying something big. We need to start to listen. Anyway, that's the show today. I really appreciate this morning's show. Like I said, it was going to be a short show. It's shorter than we usually do, but it was a lot longer than I expected to do. But we had to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Them are the breaks, y'all. But I appreciate David. Thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Be sure to keep an eye on him. He's going to be on with me tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But tonight, this afternoon. I'm so used to saying tonight. But this afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, like I said, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I don't know why I'm doing it in a Southern accent. But I will be sitting down and having a live conversation with the man, Tom Yankello. So I'm trying to pull up the flyer because, I took some time to put this flyer together and I feel good about it. So I'm about to share it with all y'alls. So today at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be sitting down, or we will all be sitting down with Tom Yankello to talk about what it was like being in the corner during the Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight. He is Roy Jones Jr.'s coach / trainer. If you saw my interview, my whole special with Roy Jones Jr., you saw me chop it up with Tom as well, just talking about the approach, their game plan, what they were going to do for the fight. So the fight is now over. And there's a lot of people out here that go, Roy held his own. If it wasn't a split decision, if it wasn't a draw, then, Roy would have won, or there's a lot of people that say Mike Tyson won. Well, we get to ask the man who was in the corner himself, who got to see it with his own two peepers live and in color, what his thoughts are in regards to the fight. And we will most definitely be taking live phone calls. So if you guys have questions for him, all that, your thoughts on what was going on in the fight, what his thoughts were, what could have been done, what could have not been done, he's going to answer those live on the show today at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please put it on your alarm, put on your alarms or your clocks or whatever. You know what I'm saying? On your phone. Nice little reminder that I will be on today at 1 p.m. So you're getting me 3 times today, y'all. Tres, okay? 3 times. And this afternoon is going to be a very special one at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tom Yankello live on The Pascal Show. Anyway, it's time to get going. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate the comments and the talks and all that. I'll see you guys at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time with the man, Tom Yankello. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in a couple hours. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Love, peace, and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. And as long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Big guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this,